since I'm back at it, I thought, well, maybe I should stream this since this is basically what I was doing yesterday. And things are advancing a lot faster now, so this is, kind of an unusual stream here, so this is kind of an unusual stream. All right, so let's get this set up here. Let's see. All right. So
Malison, The Cursed City is a fantasy survival horror RPG published by Devolver Digital, currently in development, in which you investigate a sinister city filled with hundreds of grotesque monsters, demons, and weirdos. It focuses on exploration and atmosphere. Its main influences are both classic Western RPGs like Baldur's Gate, Japanese RPGs like Final Fantasy, as well as survival horror games such as the Resident Evil and Silent Hill series. As you sneak through the city, you encounter all sorts of strange characters, many of which you can speak to, trade with, recruit to your cause, steal from, or even attack if you so choose. You can approach this game in a million ways. It's up to you how you plan to survive. Your actions may lead to wealth, disaster, betrayal, or may even lead to uncovering some of the city's darkest secrets and the game's many hidden endings.
So
the main character is no powerful hero.
So the stuff I'm working on right now is a little bit outside my
weak,
wheelhouse.
Frail goblin, and may need to rely
stop.
on desperate measures for your survival. You will likely need help from other survivors you meet, and it is up to you to decide who you trust and recruit to your cause. Combat is in a classic turn-based style with a focus on managing scarce resources
I was up until
and building
5 a.m.
unique
working
strategies
on this.
by recruiting all sorts of different party members, equipping them, and teaching them new skills. Monsters move closer to you during combat, increasing the threat and tension as they begin using their more devastating attacks. You do not
I
want
did not
them
dream
too
of
close.
spreadsheets, no. I dreamed of much worse things. No, I dreamt of parsing things to spreadsheets. This is of strategies, of parsing strategies. And I got something now. And it's working pretty well. I'll show this off.
I stream development work of Malison Tuesday to Friday at 7 p.m. EST on Twitch. I also have new development update streams on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. EST. There is also a Discord you can join for the game. Check below.
Alright, folks. So, yesterday, if you remember, towards the end of the stream, when I was looking through and trying to figure out an issue, and that issue, by the way, is still not figured out. I just moved on to another thing completely. I haven't actually received an answer from the plugin creator on that. So we were having problems with multi-line stuff. Oh, an ad's about to run, actually. All right, let me just run the ad. Yeah, it's about to interrupt me with this. All right, I'll just let the ad run before I keep going. Hey. I really have to dig deep now. Really have to dig deep in the freezer to get anything but raisin, but grape pops. All right. So, to anyone who was here today, yesterday, you remember towards the end, I was looking for a solution to basically things not really. So it seems like there's two separate limitations to this plugin that lets me extract all the text, and then that's meant to make it easy to translate, to have multiple languages at the same time for your project. It seems like it doesn't let me use double quotes to in the values of the CSV file. And it also, but using double quotes is the only way you can have multi-line elements in a CSV file. Because otherwise, a line break in a CSV file just means go to the next row. So I'll need to figure this out. I'll need to know what's the why doesn't it let me use double quotes in the CSV file? I'll need to figure this out. But while searching for this yesterday, I found that the plugin actually has a function that lets you automatically extract all of the game's text. Unfortunately, when I looked into it after the stream, I found that this is not what I was hoping at all. That it just grabs all of the text, like the command just takes all of the text and just puts it in one text file, and that's all it does, with no labels or whatsoever. Just a huge list of texts in just one big text file. And then the other thing that lets you wrap all the text, literally all it does, put curly brackets on either side of every piece of text in your game, which is not it's not really. So it can let you turn all of the game's text into uh you know, it can kind of let you turn all of the game's text into keys for translation, which is exactly the approach to translating that I don't want, because that's exactly what a lot of the other plugins did that I don't want. Um but I did find the solution in that I took those two and just turned them into the thing I'm looking for. I took those two scripts from this. I took those two scripts that don't do the thing I want, and I basically turned them into exactly what I want. Instead of putting it out into a text file, it builds a CSV file with it. And instead of just spitting out all the text, it actually assigns a unique name for each of them based on the map and the event and then the phrase. I'm still figuring out the details here, but I basically turned it into what I'm looking for. It was a useful starting point for it, because I'm not super good at JavaScript. So whenever I mess with something with JavaScript, it always feels like, I'm a little bit out of my depth, but this kind of thing kind of helps you learn a bit. So I was able to grab like the thing it did and just like the two functions it used to extract and to add like to sort of to add brackets around all the text. I basically merged them into one big function that marks things and then extracts it and then use the marking to, So I can show what it does. I can show what it does real quick. I can show like what it's outputting. I just need to figure out the specifics of what else I want it to output right now. I just need to sort of polish it up. So I'm actually on my way to having all of the game's map data extracted like by itself, which would be very good. So I'm not actually going to need to go through like what I did yesterday for like the bedroom, which took like 2 hours to extract all of that manually. I should be able to have a script just do it for me and extract it and do it all correctly. Problem is that it's kind of a complicated process. So I need to like parse it carefully. But I think what I got now is basically working. Let's see if this is okay. No, I actually have a bug right now. Okay, let's see. What was I doing? So I was just adding something to add like notes. So I wanted to add notes to the resulting CSV so that it's easier for me to go over and find where the rooms are. I just need to find where okay, yeah, that I need to remove this. So yeah, one of the things is that I needed to add a bunch of things for like the choice outcomes because some stuff was just not working. I'm working on something so that it also catches whenever the game sets the speaker of the next dialogue line. This was completely ignored by the original script. So I'm going to be working on that here. I'm going to try to set it up that it recognizes previously used speakers and refers back to that previous name instead of entering the name manually every time as a separate entry in the thing. So yeah, let's see if I can figure this out. But I'll show you guys what I've got right now. So it runs at the start when I launch the game. Are you sure you want to wrap? So this is from the original script there. And then, oh, okay, I made a mistake, looks like. Show map info is not defined. Oh, this is just a typo. Let's try that again. Okay. There you go. No, okay, there's something else that's wrong. So every time this goes wrong, it completely wrecks my game. So this is the kind of thing I could absolutely not do without this is something I could absolutely not do if I didn't have like source control here to just undo all the changes that just happened. This would not be possible at all because every time I run this, it basically wrecks the entire project and I need to like undo it. But that's literally, that's what happens when you try to like automatically process something about a giant amount of data. I'm just doing trial and error and seeing the result, and if it works, I'll need to make sure to not think it works too early when it doesn't actually work yet. That's going to be the big risk. Okay, map number is set here. Map number was not set before. This is here. Oh, this should have been set actually. Wait, yeah, no, that should have been set. Oh, map number is not set here. Ah, okay. That's map number here. Okay, there you go. So, okay, I reverted it? Yes. I need to delete. I need to delete this here if it spawned it. Okay, it didn't because it failed to create it. All right, let's launch again. Before it. And externally, yes. Okay. And it exported everything. Okay, this time it worked. All right, so now it should have exported everything. Should have gone through the entire game and extracted all of the text. So here, I usually check this here as an example. So see, it went over all of the game and turned all the text into these little entries like that. Turned all of the text that appears into these little references. And it also should have made a note of these references and the text that they replace in here, export.csv. And the specifics of what happens with this, of what it creates in that file, is most of what I'm working on now. Making sure that what it creates here is completely like usable. This is like the important part now. So there's some stuff here that's not quite right. Yeah, okay. So the display name, so I'm trying to make it extract the name of the map before so before it spits out the events of a map, I wanted to like add a note for like which map this is. Also display name, yeah. So there's a few things not. So this is right, this is wrong. I had to figure out how to make it output the correct like slashes as well. Make sure that everything is escaped properly. Like here, there's like double parentheses here. I'm not sure why. I'll need to look into that. Yeah, look at that. Why are the parentheses is doubled? That's weird. Oh, also V, I think. Yeah. Why is it like this? That's weird. Yeah. It removed. Yeah, it removed the commands to show variables here. I see. Oh, let me lower the volume. Sorry. Yeah, there you go. Is that better? I can lower a little further. All right. So yeah. So I need to make sure. Okay, so some of this, like /C here, this is fine. So for color, it seems to be working properly. So the tags that are supposed to change the text color seem to be fine. I'm just looking for all the potential problems. Oh, one thing I'll have to change. This is going to be like a game-wide change. I'm going to need to remove the curly brackets. The curly brackets that are around all items are going to need to be swapped for square brackets. This seems to be something I can't really. Yeah, some of them are missed for some reason. Like, see this one? Oh, I think maybe it only changes the first set that is found. But yeah, I'll need to make it automatically change all curly brackets for square brackets. I won't need to do it manually. But yes, this plugin for translations just uses curly brackets in a way that's like, that I can't escape the curly brackets for it. I tried to just add escape characters for the curly brackets. It doesn't work. And there's too many things that use curly brackets already. And like the escape character plus the curly bracket is also another thing. So that makes curly brackets completely completely unusable, which is a little frustrating, but whatever. I'll just switch them for square brackets. It's fine. But I think it's only shifting the first one found. See? So this first bread here is in square brackets, but then the others are curly brackets. So I think the command I used only replaces the first instance found instead of all of them. Yeah, no. The whole thing I'm doing right now is to automate it. I'm trying to avoid doing things by hand as much as possible because there's just too much. There's just too much to go through for that. Um, yeah, like this would be, like I said yesterday, having to do all this manually would be at least a week of like 12 hours of 12-hour days of work here. But here, if I can make it automatic, it takes a little setup to actually get it to work properly automatically. And I'll need to like really test the result. That's going to be the tricky thing, is that this could introduce bugs that are hard to find. But as long as, I don't, jump to the results too quickly. Well, so far it's looking like I'm not gonna need to do too much of it manually. The more scary manual things is gonna be for the other parts of the. I mean, it's not gonna be that scary, but changing all of like all the stuff in the database, that's gonna be a little bit more work, but it shouldn't be that bad because a lot of it I might be able to make a script for as well, because a lot of it is going to be very like skills, right? Like the code for skill number 1's name is just going to be like skill 1. So that's definitely the kind of thing you can automate. So I'm not expecting there to be too many problems here in automating like switching all of this to be pulling from an external spreadsheet. But yeah, it sucks to have to do this late, but again, doing it early would have meant having to deal with a really awkward project while we're still working on it. And now at this point, we're not doing that much more work on it, so might as well do this now. All right. So, one thing I need to do, I need to make sure that all of these things here, the commands that I use to replace, it needs to be replace all instead. And this is only replacing one, I'm pretty sure. So let's see if there's like a replace all I can use. So JavaScript string replace all. Or it might just be the same as replace. Oh no, it is replace all. Okay. So yeah, I need to do replace all here. Yeah. So that should fix that problem. And these two. That should fix the problem that it only removes the first instance. Okay. What else was the problem? Yeah, let me go back here. So yeah, the object here, it does not tell me the actual name of the thing. So that's another issue. What was another issue I had noticed? Hmm. Oh, yeah. Also, I had to change the character code that makes text go bigger or smaller, because that actually uses the curly brackets for it. So all of this is now being switched to MFS and MFB. That's actually a built-in thing of the plugin. Not replacing it, just using that to replace the thing. Okay. So, yeah, why is it not? Yeah, let's see why. Yeah, let's see why it says object here. This is supposed to print out the name of the name of the map. For some reason, it's printing this instead. Um, yeah, the display name here, map number, display name, and here. So yeah, map display name this, but that's not the important one. That would be process text. No, process map events. Okay. Here, this should be giving me, yeah, map name, data map infos, this. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, no, this is the full info of that map instead of the specific name. So if I just do name here, that should work. Yeah. Yeah, this was pulling the entire. Yeah, that was the problem, I think. And this is here. And like this. And this should add the name of the map here. And map number, name, and display name. Okay, let's try this. So see, this is this very incremental process here of slowly making this exported spreadsheet look more and more like what I want. And every time I need to revert everything that it does to the game because it just destroys it and it is unrecoverable. So I need to reset everything in the data folder here. Yeah, this is the kind of thing you can only do if you use that. Yeah, I mean every time it is about extracting all the text and removing it, so it needs to be perfect before you can actually let it. Okay. There we go. And figuring out how to like actually test this safely is going to be interesting. Like at one point I'm going to need to like decide, okay, this looks good enough that I can start looking into if it's good. If there's any crash or any problem. Um I'll probably just implement one complicated room first just to see, just to make sure it works. Okay, so far so good. This seems to be switching all instances now instead of only the first one. And here, now it's adding the names of the rooms here for context. That's way easier to read. Yeah, this is way better already. F25 Dan home. Yeah, this is much more legible. That makes a big difference. This is also where I put the room name for the few instances where like the name of the room shows up when you appear somewhere. And also I made it that it only adds this if the room has something in it. If the room has at least one piece of text to replace. Otherwise it just skips it entirely. So otherwise there would have been a bunch of display names that were just empty. But yeah, this was interesting to figure this out at like 3 a.m. yesterday, but I'm happy that this is working. Because getting this to actually work is just going to be so much less work to. It's still doubling up the parentheses here. and also like removing the /v thing. Why is it doing that? Wait, I think I remember there being something about the variable, like displaying variables. Yeah, I think I remember something about like displaying a variable being different if you use this. Every time you like show the value of a variable, I think you're supposed to use something a little different in this thing. There's like a built-in different way to show a value like this. And maybe this is automatically switching it. Uh, I'm pretty sure I remember something about this. Okay, no. Okay, this. So to use a variable inside text, you use the tag /var ID. Okay. Okay, so I need to add another thing here that changes this. So usually I use /v because this is the usual, the normal thing. To use a variable inside text, use the tag /var. Use only for depth of translation. See below. Huh? Depth of translation. Ignored files. In the translated text, you can specify another tag and it'll be translated and if the depth of translation is greater than 1. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. I'm not sure what that means. Hmm. Is it like that /v only works at the topmost level and you use /var for stuff that is in the spreadsheet? And you use /v for stuff that stays out of the spreadsheet, maybe? The spreadsheet? That might be it. Like the depth of translation. Hmm. Well, I mean, I can test this right now, I think. Okay, one thing at a time. Let's figure out what's happening with yeah, let's figure out what's happening with this with a double Oh wait, these are okay, no. These are conditional. Okay, right. These are conditional. Okay. Oh fuck, I'll need to make sure that this still works actually. Oh, that's complicated now. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'll need to make sure this still works. This is the conditional. Yeah, this is like the conditional conditions. The conditional choices. You know, when like certain choices only appear if you have an item or they're disabled. I hope it'll still work with this. I hope this is still going to be like compatible. Shit. Didn't this actually use curly brackets? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I actually forget if it did. Well, I'll just add one. I'll add I had text somewhere that does this. Conditional choice. Okay. Okay, no, it's not. It does not use. Okay, no, it uses. Um, yeah, it uses like larger than, smaller than, and parentheses. So that should actually be fine. Hmm. Okay, yeah, I think this should be fine, but I still need to make sure it gets processed though. Hmm. So many potential places where this can break. Ooh, it's a little scary. It is a little bit scary. I mean, so far this looks like this output here so far looks pretty good to me. Like so far this looks pretty good. I'll need to test it, of course, but like this does not look bad. Hmm. Yeah. Like this actually looks pretty good. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through it here and yeah, this looks for the most part pretty good. There's a lot of repeats, of course, and there's still more than one main thing I haven't done. There's still one main thing I need to add, which is changing the speaker. Because this, yeah, the base script does not look at the speaker whatsoever. And I need to change that. So let's delete this. And let's revert all the mess. Let's revert the mess. Let's revert the entire data folder. There we go. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's make it. Yeah, let's make it find the speakers. All right. Hmm. So first, yeah, it's gonna make a running list of all of the speakers that were found so far. All right. Hmm. I'm definitely gonna want to have like a running list of like a global list of speakers, I think. Yeah. Con speakers. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And whenever it finds a speaker, it's going to check to see if that speaker already exists in that list, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Oh, at first I need to also check if the command isn't empty, because if it just sets to nothing, then I don't do anything. So if command parameters is not an empty string. Yeah, if it's an empty string, just skip all of this. And most of them are going to be empty strings. All right. Then it needs to go over all the speakers and check if this is equal to this. And if it is, that means it's going to copy it. It's going to use the same code as was set up in that other thing, right? Found speaker, false. Here. If it finds it here, found speaker is true. And it adds, it uses the same code that was added before, right? Like that.
Oh no, it's time to stretch.
And then here, after all of this, if it has not found a speaker, then you need to create a new speaker. And so you need to do... So how am I going to build the code for the speaker? I would say, so speakers push, and it's going to be the text found in the speaker is going to be the second parameter, and the first parameter is going to be, I mean, I've already made a bunch of speakers. What was the code I gave to the speakers before? So this is the part that I did manually here. It's name. Yeah, it's just name and then the name. Yeah, so it's just going to be name and then the name, right? So, yeah, that should work. So that should be name plus the given name there. Okay. Like that. And then I need to set this to Like that. There you go. So that should work, I think. And that should add the speaker. That should add the speaker to the list of speakers. And then at the end, at the bottom of all of this, I'm going to iterate through the speakers and add them all to the spreadsheet. So at the end of all of this, when it's here, before it does all of that, it's going to iterate through all the speakers that it found. And all of them are going to be added to the CSV file. Just at the end, at the bottom. So add to CSV, and then that's going to be speakers. Zero, empty string, speakers 1. And I think that should work. So that should give me a big old list of all the speakers at the bottom. And it should use those key codes everywhere where a speaker is being set up. Okay, let's test that. Let's test it. Yep. Do you want to reload? Yes. Okay, everything's already reset. Just need to make sure this is deleted. Yes. Okay, let's run it. Wrap dialog text. No error so far. That's good. Modify externally. Yes. Let's reload. And now let's see what happened to all the speakers. You're not wrong. Oh, name question mark question mark. Oh, that's not good. That's not what I want. Something went wrong here. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Oh my. Yeah? It's all... Why is it all Lyle? Why is it all Lyle? There's only Lyle. In the grim dark future of Look Outside, there is only Lyle. That's very funny. Why? Why him? Did it only add the first one? Added like, yeah, maybe it just only printed the first one. I guess that's probably it. That's really the only thing it could be here. That is funny. It's all Lyle. Yeah, that's the... Yeah, okay, right, yeah. It's I and then this. Okay, yeah. There you go. There you go. That should work. Because yeah, it's a 2D array. I was only looking at the second of the 2 dimensions of that. That was a problem. So it might still be actually extracted properly. It's just not like being processed properly afterwards. This here should have been correct though. Yeah, I'm not sure why this part was just like a question mark thing. Oh, right, no, the name was question mark, because that's before you meet him. So you don't know his name. So that was actually normal there. Okay, that looked like an error, but that wasn't. The first time he speaks to you, you don't know his name yet. That actually makes sense. Okay. That part was not a bug. It was just very funny that the first name entered because the first one that comes up in the files is Lyle, and that's exactly the one that I checked. That is a very funny coincidence. But that was actually for two separate reasons. So that's funny. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Listen, I know funny. Reset. Yes. Also, I should keep the changes I get to this. The rest I don't need to care. Okay, yes, reload. That should have reverted everything. Yep, back to a ventilation grate. Back to a ventilation grate. Okay, now let's run this again. Oh wait, I still had this running. Hang on. What happens is you get sad. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Is there any what should be like the first thing I check that has a name label? Cuz yeah, this one, yeah, that's just going to be name question mark question mark. That's just going to be it. No matter what. Let's see. What's the do I'm trying to think of a character that speaks to you from the from in the map and not in an encounter where you see their name label. Come on. What's I can't even think of one. I guess if you know what? I literally have a cheat sheet to find what they are. Oh yes, coffee shop. You're right. But here, I literally have just made a machine that generates a cheat sheet for that. So, let's just look at it. Oh my god, what is this? Now that's what I call parsing. Well, these are interesting. Uh yeah. Yep. Why did it So this is looking like it's treating the string as an array here. But it is supposed to be a 2D array. But this is acting like it's actually only a 1D array with a string inside. And so when I grab like a specific value on that string, it gives me a question. Yeah. So that's a bit odd. Okay. Let's delete this and try again. Yeah, it is not parsing the correct thing. That's fine. Like I said, JavaScript is not quite. It's still something I'm figuring out as I go. So there's a lot of little quirks of the language that I'm gonna miss like that. Okay, so, all right. So okay, let's just check here. When I'm pushing, oh yeah. Hang on. Yeah, that's the problem. This should be within brackets. I'm intending to add little little arrays inside each element. And instead I was adding 2 elements in a row. Yeah, okay. That'll do it. Yes, that was the problem. I was missing square brackets on the outside here. So instead of adding one set of two elements, it was adding one element, another element, one element, another element. And so looking deeper made it pick a character in the string instead of one of the two elements there. So that makes sense. Okay. Let's keep going. One other try. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Reload. Yes, all good. Okay. Now, let's see what's up. Okay, let's go to the bottom. Oh, not nearly as many now. Good. Yeah, perfect. That's it. We got it. We got it. Oh. Okay, some of these are a bit weird though. Name. Okay, no, these are the ones that I had already extracted. So it's like doubling down here. That's normal. Okay. Uh. Ooh. Okay. It doesn't like the encoding here. This is Clemence. Yeah, it doesn't like accents when it's pulling this. That might be a problem. I haven't noticed this anywhere else though. Um. Try to think off the top of my head. Are there any other accents in the game? Because right now this is giving me, it's kind of struggling to reproduce the accent here because of the encoding. Yeah, there's Marc-André. Right, right. Mark. Yep. Marc-André gets it here too. Why would it struggle? Oh, right. Yes, you're right. Maybe this is not the encoding of saving the file, but it's just loading it without UTF-8. Yes. That's probably it. Yeah, automatic. It's picking automatic. Let's open it in UTF-8 and see if it's actually saving it properly. I just didn't load it properly. That's possible, yes. Unicode UTF-8. And let's see if that fixes that. In which case, it's not even a problem. Yep, there you go. We got the accents there. There we go. All right. Yep, that works. That works. Yep, the saving is okay. It was just the loading that wasn't right. Yep, yep. Okay, anything? Oh, here I'm noticing name /n and then the other slash. Where is this one from? Looks like there's some place in the game where I used the wrong direction slash. I wonder where. Yeah, there's a place in the game where I subtly used the wrong direction slash here. That's a good way to find these. Also, why is... Oh, tall rat and tail rat. I was thinking, wait, why is this one used twice? But no, that's... yeah, this one is wrong. Let's look for where I used the wrong one. Let's see here. Let's go through the entire... Actually, I shouldn't do this now because I'm about to revert everything. Let's see. Okay, let's find an actual problem first, though. Is there anything that looks wrong with these? Is there anything that looks wrong with these? This is all looking fine to me. Oh, thank you, Omioni. Appreciate that. Yeah, this is looking okay here. Yeah, this is yeah, I'm not noticing any big glaring issues here. I kind of want to just do a quick test to see if this works. So, let's pull. So I'm not going to properly pull all of this yet. Oof, this is a lot of lines. There's some repeats in these lines, of course. I can't do the fancy thing of making sure there's no repeats. But yeah, let's grab all of this and let's pull it into the master sheet here. Enabling macros. And let's put all of this into maps F2. There we go. This is EN. This is CN, EN. There we go. We got notes. We got updated. Okay. I can delete this now. But yeah, this is the big giant spreadsheet. Oh, right. I do need to delete things related to what I've already extracted. So there's this, the intro. This is stuff I've already extracted manually. So let's delete this. I'm not sure where these are coming from, actually. Why is map 8 like this? Did I not reset these? Okay, let's look a little. Let's look at this. Let's look at floor 2 long here. What did I do? Okay, let's look at. So it's useful that my my codes point me to exactly which events are which. Okay, so event 15. So which one is event 15? That is when you try to open these doors. Okay. Why are these treated as if they were redundant? Because I did not actually pull these manually. Yeah, I only pulled manually the intro room and map 2. So did I accidentally overwrite this map fully, maybe? Let's see. This is map 8. Oh, map 8 is not included here. Map 8 is not included here. Huh. I mean, I still have like different, you know, like I can find whichever here were modified. Yeah, map 8 over here. I accidentally like overwrote map 8 for some reason. It's so weird. Huh. I mean, there's nothing that I changed that was important in map 8 anyway, so I can just pull it back to an earlier version. It's not a big deal. Map 8, I can just grab it from here. This version should be fine. There was no recent changes to this map at all, so let's just download this version. Save selected. And let's just pull it here, map 8. And then I can just override it, yeah. Again, another useful thing about source control, it saves a bunch of different copies of the source at different times. So if you do something like this and accidentally like overwrite something and save, you can always just go back. Okay, so that's, yeah, there you go. Is there any other... Yeah, so this one is going to be kind of weird, but I'm not just going to have to test another room. Let's see, any other... The other one that I imported manually, of course, is apartment bedrooms. So apt bed, and I should be able to get it like this. There you go. Oh, looks like there's some rooms I accidentally named that. There you go. So this is the other one that I pulled manually here. So I can delete all of these. Oh, there's a few things I forgot to remove here. Huh. Oh, there's a few things I missed. Look at those. There's a few things I missed here. I'm probably going to revert everything I did yesterday on that room. Just so that it's all the automatic thing that handles it. It sucks to like reset a bunch of stuff I had to do that took hours, but like, you know, it's best if like the one thing does everything. Yeah, there's really no reason to keep the part I did myself, even though that was a few hours of work. But anyway, this is going to be a test to see if this all works. I'm suspecting some parts of this are not going to work, but that's fine. This is, we got to figure this out. So I'm exporting this. Okay. And now, let's run it. I'm kind of, I'm a little bit spooked. Before I run this, let's just take a little break. I'll be back in just a bit. Let's do a little stretch. Okay, let's see. Let's see if anything's broken. A little scared. Let's see now. Before it. Oh, wait. Right, I need to remove the part that re-extracts everything. Well, not a good start. This is part that was already extracted, so maybe... Yeah, this is stuff that I had already extracted. The intro and then the bedroom. Let's see if this is only the intro that's doing this. That the parts... Like, maybe it doubled up the extraction, and that might have... Yeah, okay, that's probably what happened there. Yeah, because I already extracted it, it replaced the thing I put in to extract it with its own, and then I deleted that. That'll do it. So yeah, this is why I'll need to just remove what I did for that. I'll need to make it, yeah, like it's doubling down. Name voice from your wall. Okay, there's a problem. Why is it pulling both? That's so odd. Yeah, so this is all the stuff that's, yeah, that was taken twice. Oh, this is stuff that was not taken twice. See? I had left behind the secret code. I had left behind the secret code here. So cheats enabled. Yeah, this is all stuff that was newly extracted, and this is working fine. So far. So far. So let's do this. Now let's go out there. Now everything out here should be new. Newly extracted. No, these are item names, so these are not extracted yet. Well, let's just play. No, also the events in a video game would also not be extracted yet. This is all common event stuff. I'll use the same script to extract those though, because these are also events, so it's still just all about like dialogue boxes. So yeah, this is all not extracted. Okay, yeah, so none of this really does anything. I need to go out there. Let's see, what would be something that's a good test? Well, this is something in the map. There's some color change. Something that uses icons. Right, entering here for the first time. No, entering here for the first time. Yeah. Yep. Using an icon, that works. That works, okay. Now, something that displays a variable on screen. That's another thing to test. Looking at the time. Looking at the time at the clock, that should be... No, actually... No, did I make the time at the clock... Is the time and the clock... I forget if this is from a common event or if this is written in directly. Let's see. Oh, yeah, no, this is, yeah. Yeah, no, this is not... This is a, Yep. This is all extracted. Okay, this works. So far, so good, except for the stuff I had already extracted. But like I said, I'm just gonna, revert all of that anyway. Which sucks, but whatever. It just needs to work. It working is the only thing that matters here. What else could I test here? Something that isn't really... Oh, anything where the font grows. What's an event that happens in... yeah, from the map where the font changes size? Also, picking up an item. I need to make sure the brackets appear. Let's go pick up an item. When the no, that's in an encounter. Yes, Helen with the venom dagger. That would. Wait, no. That might be no. Ellen's reaction to the dagger is definitely an on-map text. I'm pretty sure. Oh, this doesn't... Oh, there we go. Okay, so switching this to square brackets works. I really preferred the curly brackets, but it's fine. The curly brackets are a bit less text-like, so it just fits better for this, I think. But, I mean, this is just a limitation we'll have to live with. Yeah, okay, yes. Let's cheat to get Dan's reaction to any treasure. Okay, let's get Dan and Helen. Dan. Helen. Hey, buddy, hey, pal. Join party. Join party. Okay, any treasure? Anyone in particular you can think of? Let's advance time a bit. Yeah, in the ice room. Yeah, let's do that. Change time, time of day. No. No. Oh, this is not working here. Oh, that's a bad one. Time of day sets you to this, but change day sets you to the same one. That's a bad one. Okay, we'll have to figure this out. Wonder what's happening there. That's definitely something to figure out. But let's... Oh! And this was actually moving the day forward. It was just not displaying the right text. Huh. Okay. That's peculiar. Let's grab that thing over here. Oh. Dan doesn't react to this one. Oh, the console, probably. Okay. Nothing here. So, was that text supposed to be, like, larger? Because it wasn't. So that might be a problem. No, not common events yet. So, is that text supposed to be large? Because that's not large. Okay, I'm looking for text that gets larger right now, yeah. Yeah, let's go to the ground floor. Yeah. Get stinky. Oh, the translation of the name of the area there, that worked. Clemence's name goes through. Okay, now let's see. Yep. Okay. Larger font works. Larger font works. Smaller text now. Trying to think of anyone that in a map event speaks with a small font. There might not actually be one. It might all be in encounters. And also, let's use this guy to test the different choice stuff. There might be something wrong with So if I do paralysis here, okay, this works. There might be an issue with when there's more than one set of... No, this one is fine. Huh. Okay, so these options were fine. No, I think Potted Philippe is all in a common event. Oh right, you can walk into the... You've been got by the evil guy. I forgot about this. That's so stupid. I forgot. You've been gotten by the evil guy. No, you can only do this with cheats. Yeah. I did this in case, because there was a rare bug where if you have just the right timing, and you can end up warped inside the bus after the crash is over, technically, and because of that, you don't actually die, and you're just stuck inside the bus. So I added an evil guy in there. I added an invisible evil guy inside the space of the bus to get you if that happens. And since this would be a really rare thing, I decided to make the death a little different as a joke. Because it's an evil guy in the bus. It's very stupid. All right, so why is this wrong here? Oh, I never heard this one. But yeah, why is this one not working? Yeah, this one here. This leads to T1B. And this is T1B. T1A, T1B, T4A, T4B, T4A. Oh, yeah, these are doubled up. T4A and T4A. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, it like numbered these wrongly because I guess it's because it's just like two choices in a row and it doesn't know how to deal with that, I think. Huh. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't know how to parse when there's like a bunch of choices in a row. Yeah, well, if there's two choices in a row without text between them, that seems to be when it gets confused. And that would not really happen normally in anything except for a plate like a debug menu. So that's probably why only this debug menu does it, but I feel like I should still fix this. Just in case there is an option, there is something like that in the game where there's like two sets of choices with no text between them. That might happen in a few places. And also, I mean, for debugging, it's going to be better to fix it anyway. So how would I do that? How would I actually fix this? Let's think about this a little bit. I think the problem is that the show choices thing should be considered like this here should increment after it. So this is the number, the text number, and the text number only increments after a show text. It does not actually increment after show choices, but it should. Yeah, I just need to add this after a show choices here. There you go. So that should work. Yeah, adding this should fix that problem, I think. Yeah, maybe yes. The encounter with the mass shadow might have a few moments where there's no text between the choices. Yeah, that might be a case of it. Yeah. Okay, I think this should fix it, but I guess we'll see. Okay, let's revert. This is going to be a little painful, but let's revert all of the maps instead of just the maps that I've been saving. Yeah, let's revert all the maps here to get a clean slate and get everything be replaced, including the stuff that I set aside for myself that I did manually. So I'm going to reset this. Then I'm going to go here. So I had modified map 2. I had modified map 2 and map 8 at one point. Yeah, map 8 and map 2. So let's go before all of this. Map 5, yeah, all of this. These were all just, attempts at... So I need to grab them from here. Starting the localization extraction work. This was when I was just extracting from actors and system and all that. So from this, let's download... So map 8, I already have it. Map 2 is the one I want to download here. This is the bedroom. So let's download this. Already have map 8. Let's get map 2. And also the intro map, which was map 5. Yeah, map 5. So let's download map 5 as well. Yeah, it sucks, but I have to make sure this works. I don't want to have to do this manually at all, so let's make sure this works entirely without manual changes. And then maybe I can also find a way to automatically extract the results too, but that's not a priority. So yeah, map 2. Map 2, map 5, and map 8. Let's cut them. go into the repo, and let's paste them here. There we go. So now everything should be reverted, including all the hours of work. But that's fine. So now all of this should be reverted. Yep, all of it is back. All of it is back. It's all back in there. Okay, and now let's extract all text again. But this time it is all the text. This time it's personal. So here, this is maps F3. I'm going to delete all of this. Again, this is, yeah, this is right there. That was the big job, but I don't need it anymore. I've grown past it. I've grown past such needs. That's right, I've enlightened now. The thing that took me so much effort before is now effortless. Ah, yes. That is true enlightenment. You've been gotten by the evil guy, though. Let's see. The evil guy. Okay. Now, let's just grab it. Let's just grab it. Here. Into locales. Grab export. Yes. Now, this should all be in there. Oh, what's that? What happened there? I noticed a thing. Oh? You perceive my words within the sanctum of your mind through telepathy. That is a semicolon.
Oh no, it's time to stretch.
I thought I escaped all semicolons, though. This should not be a problem normally. The semicolon is definitely causing this, though. Huh. Yeah, no, it is a requirement of the thing to specifically use semicolons as the break character. Yeah, so I can't switch that, but this should be okay. I'm gonna go look at the actual content using like as a text file. So I'm going to open the CSV with Notepad++, and I'm going to search for this piece of text here. Yeah, look at that. This is supposed to be escaped. It is not escaped for some reason. This should be escaped here. If it was escaped, would it work? Let's see what happens if I escape this one character and then open it again. Let's see if that does the trick here. It should be. It should be doing the trick. It does not work. Oh. So wait, escape characters don't actually work to help parse these? So that must mean I need to use quotes here. That must mean I need to use quotes if I find this. Okay. All right. Let's Let's delete this. Let's revert again. Oh, I should yeah, so now I'm gonna need to repaste the I'm gonna need to repaste those 3 maps again. That's annoying. Let's revert this. Let's revert this. There we go. And now let's grab the maps again. Oh, did I? God damn it. I accidentally... I cut instead of copied them. God damn it. Stupid. Stupid. Alright, it was 2. Let's save them directly in here. Yeah, that's 2. That was 8. And was it 12? What was the other one? 5. 5 was the other one, I think. Yes, 5, 2, and 8. Five, 2, and 8. Okay, now this time I'm going to save these reverts. There we go. So now I've staged these. So these I'm kind of confirming as being good changes. So I can now reset the rest without problem. Okay. That's what I should have done last time. Okay. Okay. What was the other thing? Yeah. So yeah, why is it failing to... So this is the escape stuff, process text. And here it's checking to see... Here it is checking to see this. For some reason it's not working here. It's not working to find these. The semicolons. Yeah, why doesn't this work? Maybe I can do this. So it's going to add quotes if there is a line break, or if there is this. That might work. Because if I add quotes, I think it should understand that this is not meant, that the line break here isn't meant to be interpreted. I think that should work. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's make sure I've deleted the thing first. Okay, let's test this out. Okay. Now let's open the thing. Export. Now there's still a few. And, oh. Oh, it's escaping. Ah. It is escaping the quotes. Because I'm doing these in the wrong order, I think. Yeah, it's escaping the quotes. Let's fix that. Those quotes should not be escaped. Only the quotes that are there from the start should be escaped. That means I need to escape the quotes first and then add those quotes which won't be escaped. Let's reset these now. There we go. Okay, let's review the order in which things are being escaped. So this is where this is where this is being escaped here. So the quotes are being swapped here. That should not be where that happens. So I should be escaping the quotes. The single quotes are going to be escaped here, I think. But the double quotes are going to be escaped here before I add new ones. So if there's double quotes, it's going to replace all the double quotes with / double quote. That means only the quotes that are used in the text itself are escaped. And then the other quotes that are added afterwards are not. Single quotes are going to be escaped normally because I'm not using them here in that way. Let's see if that does it. That trial and error, though. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's see if I still have that problem. Export. Aha! There we go. Now that's working. The quotes are working. Okay. Good, good, good. Okay. Yes. That is very much working. Trying to see any problems. I'm not finding any at a glance. Dumb fuck. I'm the fight master. Bipeds can't compete. Yeah. All right. This is looking pretty good, actually. This is looking pretty good. I was reading Macandre's text because it flew by. Oh yeah, there's still this thing I need to figure out. Where the hell is that in use? The wrong name. Where the hell is that in use? Let's do a search across the entire project. Oh wait, I need to revert before I do that. Is Clara's name showing wrong? No, this. Let's search for the context of this. Find in files. It's going to look for it in all of Look Outside's data. And find name/n1. Okay, there's two uses of it. Player sil. This is the text nearby. What is this? What's under the mask? So yeah, it seems like the mask ending just has the wrong. Yeah, when Sam is speaking back to you during the mask ending, it just uses the wrong thing for his name. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Now that's funny. Now that is funny. Is it in two different contexts? Player so. Yeah, it just seems to be, yep, just two bad uses of that. All right, well, let's go fix that. Yeah, no, it should be broken in the game right now. But since there's a lot of different ways that encounter can go, maybe it's a very obscure, specific branch of it that does that. Yeah, what's under the mask? Let's reset. And now let's fix that in here. There should be two entries here that use the wrong name. Yeah, some of these here. This is the correct one. This is the correct one. This is the correct one. This is wrong. I don't like you. Yeah, this is for if you said I don't like you. Yeah, nobody says that. Yeah. Only people that told Mask I don't like you would see this and then proceed to go to the Mask ending. This might actually be impossible. I forget if telling I don't like you might move the variable in such a way that you can't actually get the rows. So it's possible some of the outcomes here are not actually like mathematically possible. Or you might need to give a really good gift to compensate. All right, there we go. That's a little fix. That's a tiny little fix. Okay. Whew. This kind of seems like it's working. Let's do another extract here. And this time, yeah, let's like pull it all in. Let's put it all in. And then I'll need to think about how to also extract the encounters, the encounters logic. That's going to be something. That is going to be something. That'll definitely be in a separate file because there's going to be a lot there. And also same thing for the common events. The common events, I'm going to need to get into like scripts too, or maybe that's going to be something separate. You know, yeah, for the scripts, I'll probably need to do this like manually. Huh. I'll need to think about how to do this. How to do all of this for the scripts. I'll need to do a test. I'll probably do a test with using Dan's call chat. Ask his chat because that is all text that's being pulled from scripts, and I need to know if this plugin is going to process those or if it just prints them out. Yeah, I need to know if it processes this or not. All right, let's extract it. There we go. Yes. Yes. And now export. Now I need to grab this and pull it all into localization and bring all of this into maps. There we go. This is tag. Okay. Yeah, this is all looking fine. Maybe the names should be actually exported as a separate file. That might be useful. Okay. Yeah. And I should be able to just export this as is. Exported. There we go. And then I need to delete the base spreadsheet that was generated. I should probably put these elsewhere as well so it doesn't, because by default they get loaded up here. There we go. It's all the game's text right now, but there's still a few missing. Okay, let's run it and see that everything's... Nope, there's an error. What is that error? Uncaught. Hmm. Maps F2. Oh, I see. Um, right, because I deleted everything here. I deleted everything here. And that just leave things a little. There we go. That should work. Let's export it. And let's try running this. Oh, also I need to remove this. Extract all text. Maybe I'll have a choice here, but no, for now I'll just remove it. This is just to do a quick test. And then, yeah, I'll need to also implement all of this for common events and for troops. There you go. Now all of this is it's captured properly. Let's go check to see if that if the clock cheat is still being weird. That should be fixed now as well. I'm very pleased that there's, you know, there's fewer issues than what I expected here. I was expecting, you know, more troubles. Change time, change day. There you go. That's fixed now. Good, good, good. Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking pretty good. I think it's time for me to move on to common events and to troops. Troops should be a bit less scary, I think. Yeah, I think troops are going to be a bit less scary. We'll see. Yeah, let's revert everything again, because I do need to do all this in one go at the end. I haven't actually tested that. Maybe I should make a quick test. Yeah, let's do a quick test right now, actually. Let's just manually edit something for that. Let's use like the intro text for this. There are stairs leading into the night sky. I forget what the special characters is for this. I think it's that. There are stairs leading into the night sky. There we go. Let's see if this text gets small. Let's see if it happens. You have strange dreams tonight. A familiar voice beckons you to your window. There are stairs into the sky. Wait. That's not working. That is not working. Let's search for MFB. These are working fine. Huh. Let's see. Let's try this one now. Survivor mode. Okay, I see. Okay, the problem is that it is using RPG Maker's default text size stuff, which does not actually allow you to shrink text smaller than how it starts. That's the problem. So it does let me shrink back, but it doesn't let me shrink further than the default. So I need to modify that. Yeah, it uses make font bigger, make font smaller. And I did a custom change on this. Wait, no, it's there. That should actually be using... That should actually be using this. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see if it's maybe not running this. Maybe it's running the wrong thing. Let's put a... I'm going to put a breakpoint in that piece of code to see if it's maybe bypassing this in some way. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here under make font smaller and start a new game. Okay. All right, it is running this. It is running this as it should. So here it is not bigger than 24, so it should be shrinking it. Oh no, this works. Okay, no, it does work. I don't know why I didn't notice it working before, but that does work. Huh. Okay. Well, I don't know what that was about, but it works. So, that was weird. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Alright. Not gonna complain if a problem disappears on its own. Okay, now I need to... So yeah, I'm pretty confident about this now at this point. About how it's exporting the maps. I'm pretty confident about this. This is looking like it's just working. So I'm very happy about. Just now need to... I'm going to revert this again because now I need to add... I need to add to this. I need to make it now also extract other things. So let's reset these files. Bam, bam, boom. Okay. And here, okay, that's fine. Now, I need to make it also extract common events. Now, common events are going to be like arranged a little bit differently than maps are. So I'm not sure if I can just reproduce the logic exactly as is to also extract common events. Troops might also be something similar. So, yeah, process map events. Promises. So this here is the maps. Okay. So this part is these are all asynchronous things. I want to do the maps first. Oh, we got an ad, all right. So here, extract maps, extract troops, extract common events. Okay, so let's extract troops. Now, all right, I'll just do a stretch while this is happening. Stretch a bit. All right. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So yeah, let's extract troops. Now, before I do this, I need to first look at the structure of the troops files. So let's open up the troops file and see, see what we're working with. Let's see what we are working with. So each troop has its own ID. Okay. And there's a name. The name's going to be important. So I know which, I'm probably going to use the name a little bit like I use the map names. Right? And then we have pages. And the pages are going to be kind of like iterating through event pages. And yeah. So we have beckon, we have all the actions here. Code 401. That's going to be... So yeah, here the events are basically the same numbers. It's all... So I should basically be iterating through this the same way that I iterate through events. The only difference is instead of going through multiple files, one for each map, is just going through this file and going through each of the IDs here and each of their pages. So it's actually a little simpler than the maps. Just a little bit simpler than the maps. So I think to do this, I shouldn't need to... Yeah, like there's the promises here. This is like an asynchronous event. I'm really not used to doing asynchronous stuff. So all of this is... it's a little... But I think I should be able to essentially... Actually, I don't think I... Yeah, I think I need to do... Yeah, so this is for all of the files, but I don't need to do this. I really just need to do... Yeah, I need to do process map events, basically. I'll copy process map events. Okay. And after this, and after all that, I'm going to create a new version of process map events, which is going to be process troops. And I'm going to take... I'm basically going to take this because, yeah, a lot of the logic is going to be similar to this. A lot of the logic is going to be similar to this, but it's arranged a little differently. I might be able to share code between the two, but I'm not... It's going to depend on how close or how far the two actually are. Like a lot of the event codes here are the same, but the way they're arranged is going to be a bit different. And here, this is... I just need to run through this once. So I need to set it up and then just process troops. And also this won't need... Yeah, I'll just need to feed it the troop list, basically. And I need to grab the troop list, which I can get from here. So this I'll need to do... so all the files here. Yeah, files map. I think this would be grabbing specifically... Okay, yeah, this is grabbing the files. Yeah, this is grabbing specifically all of the files that have a name that start with map. Now, I just want basically like file get name for just one file. So I don't need to really do... Yeah, I should be able to just grab one file based on the name here. So this thing here is to just get a list of files, but what if I just want the one file? Let's look for a little JavaScript. JavaScript file lookup from name. Let's see. The file name from a full path. Oh, no, not what I'm looking for. Hmm. So this right here. Yeah, I think I can just look for it like this. I think, yeah, so this is a regular expression. So it starts by looking for something that starts with map and then with a number of digits, I think. So it's 3 digits. So this is what it's looking for. But I just want something that starts with troops. That should work, because yeah, it's just troops.json. So this should work, I think. And this should give me an array of files that have this name, but there should really just be one of them. And then yeah, this is doing this on all of the files. And what I should be looking for here. So at the top layer of this is just an array that starts with null and then just has a list of things. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I think, think I'm just gonna make a function to look for this. Just to see what this does. I do need to do this at first. So just want to see what this is giving me. Right, this is going to be asynchronous though. So this is going to need to be an async function as well. Again, I'm not really super familiar with how these things work. So troop promises. So I think await means this like forces the function to wait for this to process before it continues, right? That's what it sounds like to me. And any function that is declared as an async is one of those functions that can be waited for. That's how I think of it. So like await and then and like promise is just like a list of functions that need to run.
Oh no, it's time to stretch.
And then true promises. But this is just going to be one, really. But since it still needs to like load the file, I think it still needs to be asynchronous, even though there's just one to do. I think it's the impression I'm getting, because loading a file, you know, that feels like something that needs to always be treated as asynchronous. I'd be wrong on that, but that's the vibe I get. And here it's gonna load this file. That's the result. And the result should be let's delete these. These are just placeholders anyway. Let's have this be process troops. And let's just run this and see. Yeah, let's just see this. And this is going to be waiting if there's like things to process with those files. So I can delete this in the middle. Process goes here. Result. Okay, let's test this to see. Okay, let's see if this does anything. I feel like this probably won't work. It's probably something I'm doing wrong there. But let's try it. Process troops. Let's see what happens. Map is not defined. Okay. Well, let's first see what happens before it reaches this. Oh, it does. Okay, it crashes before it manages this. Okay, let's fix that then. Wait, what was troops modified here? Huh. Weird. So here, okay, here it needs to find data. That's not what I'm looking for, though. I actually want to get the root here. Now, the root in this case is a struct. While in the troops case, the root is an array. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get an array, though. I'm supposed to access that. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's going to be just result, I think. Yeah, I think that's going to be what I'll need to do there. I'll need to reset this because that's probably a bit wrong. Yeah, I think this saved over that, but oh, no, it didn't actually change anything. Troops did not actually change from that. So maybe there was like a save, but it just saved itself, so nothing actually happened. That's what I'm gonna presume is the case. So again, let's run this, run that. Let's have a breakpoint here. Okay, result. There we go. Okay, we have the data. Oh, it is actually data. It is still actually data here. It's just an array in the data instead of being an element called data. Okay, that's good to know. That does mean I need to use data here. Do you want to reload? Yes. Okay, anything changed here? This time troops changed, but... Oh. Was it emptied or something? What happened? Oh, shit. Well... Git extensions does not like displaying this. Oh yeah, Git extensions does not like it displaying this kind of huge file. Oh, let's just wait for it to respond, though. It's probably not actually crashed. It's just struggling a bit. No, I don't think it crashed. It's just struggling to display all this, I think. Yeah, I think that's going to be the kind of thing where if I just wait long enough, it's going to show it. Let's just use this to look it up instead. Troops. Yeah, it's just a very chunky file. Oh, wait, no, this is actually data. Wait, no, it... Oh, it resaved it in the other way. Yeah, it was not actually a data file before. It just had an array, but now it just saved it as that. Ooh, that's probably bad. I feel like this would probably break. This would probably break the thing. Okay, no, it is actually struggling. All right, let's just close this. Yeah, so it's definitely chugging here. Yeah, let's revert this, because, yeah, that's not right. Let's revert this to what it was before. There we go. Now let's reopen it. So yeah, it did not, yeah, it saved it weird. It saved it kind of wrong. See, yeah, originally it's like this. Originally it's like this. It's just an array that has all of this in there. And when I try to when I try to load this, things were a little different on load. Yeah, save JSON async here. So loading it and then saving it is kind of giving a weird result. So I might need to find a different way to save this so that it keeps the actual structure of the original. Like it's trying to fix the structure of the file, and I'm afraid that by fixing it, it's gonna break it. Yeah. I mean, maybe it isn't a problem. Maybe I could just check what it is. Okay, let's test to see if it breaks it or if it's fine. I'm kind of suspecting it's gonna break it though. Yep. Oh, it don't like that. Yep. It cannot read it after changing that. That's what I thought. Yep. That's not good. You can't just change the structure of it like that. What do I do then, though? That seems to be it's just like what it does naturally. That seems to be what JavaScript does naturally when trying to... When it loads this and then saves it. Maybe I need to like when I load it here, maybe it needs to be loaded a little differently. Like, yeah, load JSON async. Maybe I need to use a different function than this so that it loads it properly. Like here it tries to apply a specific structure onto it. I don't want it to do that. Well, let's see. Is this just a function? Is load JSON async like a core JavaScript function, or is it? Let's see. JS load JSON async. Oh yeah, I'm not sure if this is a. Yeah, this might be something added by. Yeah, this might be a part of the plugin and not a core thing. Might be part of DK tools. Yep. Okay. That's what it does here. So it loads JSON. So this part might be more generic. Yeah, that might be more, maybe save JSON. Save JSON async. Yeah, save JSON async. Okay. I mean, this seems really standard, though. This seems really basic. I'm not really seeing where something would be, like, manipulated here. I mean, maybe this is what this does? I have no idea what this line does here. Maybe that wraps things into... Yeah, maybe this right there is wrapping things into being a... Yeah, maybe this right there wraps an array into an object. Huh. Let's see if I'm going to have the same problem for common events too. Common events? Yeah, same thing here. Maybe all the database stuff is going to be like this. Yeah, these are all just arrays at the top level. Would I just need to remove like the top and bottom character basically? Maybe like this is something I can just mess with directly. All right. So JS saving JSON file array top level. Let's see. Can an array be a top level JSON text? Yes, an array is legal as top level JSON text. Okay. All right. So why does it automatically wrap it in Why does it automatically... Yeah, you should consider making the root an object. Well, in this case, I can't. Due to JSON hijacking? Yeah, well, it's not a problem here. I mean, if it's a problem, it's not my problem to solve. So how do I force this? JSON conversion. Yeah, it seems to automatically wrap it into an object, a struct. I don't want that. So yeah, is that it? Maybe this right there forces it to have an object at the top level. That might be it. I mean, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this does here. Or no, maybe this is just object, but if it's... Maybe what this does here is that if the object parameter is undefined, then instead it's going to be an empty bracket. Maybe that's what that does. Maybe stringify. Maybe this is where that happens? Maybe stringify. Yeah, maybe stringify is where... Huh. So these are the options here. Stringify, that's a parameter to tell it whether or not just to, yeah. To compress, to create a directory. Replacer. Maybe that's part of it. Oh, hang on. Maybe this is it here. Maybe this is it here. Maybe it's in the load that it adds it. Ah. Yes. I think that's it. If it's not an object, I think that might be it. Maybe. This might be where this happens. Maybe this is where this happens. Okay, you know what? Let's try something a little different then. Let's just presume that it is in the loading that the problem happens. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm just going to presume that it is in the loading that there's a problem. And so instead of saving the map, I'm going to save map data. And let's see if that removes that issue here. This is true set. Let's try that. Let's see if now, if I run this. So the troops are back. Okay. Now I'm going to run this. Okay. Now let's see if it did the same thing. Troops. Yes, perfect. Okay, so it's saved over it, but this time I made it only save the data itself. And let's make sure that this is all still readable. Yep, this is all still okay. Okay, that's what I needed to do. Just need to save the data instead of the whole content. So yeah, it is in the loading that it wraps it into a struct instead of loading exactly what was in the file. So I'm not sure at what level it added the struct on top. Maybe this is something that's just inherent to loading a JSON file. Like maybe it just always does that. That might just be a quirk of how JavaScript loads JSON files. That it just always wraps it in a struct no matter what. That might be it. I don't know. Again, that's what happens when you work with, when you work with a language you're not super familiar with. There's going to be all these little There's going to be all sorts of little quirks you won't know. Okay. So this is better. We're making some progress. It's slow, but that's how it goes. So now I have the set of troops. Okay. I have the set of troops. Now I need to process them. Okay. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to iterate over them here. So this is extracting the maps. I'm going to grab process map events here. This is the thing from earlier. And now I'm going to go over them here. So this here is process troop set, and then here process troop set. Okay, so that's going to go through this. This should get troop set data. There we go. And now it should go through all of these. This should be troops. Okay, it's going to iterate through all the troops. I don't need to grab the map name here. Showed name, no. That's not where that should appear. Event number, no, that's not where that should appear. Let updated. That's going to be the total number of updates. All right, sure, that can go there. Then troops. It iterates through all of them. For each of them, for each event, so each is called an event here. Instead, it should be troop. Okay. Yeah, for each this. Troop and troop pages. Is it pages though? Let's see if that's the next level of stuff. So I need to check the troops JSON file. And here we have ID, we have members, we have the name. The name is going to be important. I need to grab the name. Let's make this a dual screen thing. Yeah, move to the other view. There we go. Yeah, side by side is going to be useful. So I have the structure of the thing here as I work on it. Okay. Now, so here I iterate through the troops, and the troop is going to have, now the troop has pages. That's good to, yes, there's pages, yes. So the troop exists and the troop has pages. That means there's something entered there. Maybe I should check if the troop has a name too. I feel like if the troop doesn't have a name, I never have anything for it. Even the secret troops, even like the troops that are like secret, that it's like secret that they have anything, there's always like some sort of text there. I don't think I ever leave those empty. I'm pretty sure I don't have any. I'm pretty sure I don't have any that's empty that has content. At one point I tried like hiding content by making things like easy to dismiss. But I think there's always at least some text. Like the spider. Yeah. So I think I should be able to use whether there is a name for this. I mean, I can test this later. For now, let's just check if there's pages. Then I have var troop name is troop name. So I'll need to refer to it later. Then we have pages. I might not need to, I can just refer to it like this, actually, it's fine. I don't need to extract it, I don't think. Unless I want to keep it for the next one, but probably not. Okay, so rim choices. Here I'm gonna have yeah. Showed name is false. So that's important to keep track of, because I only want to list the name if there's anything to actually replace for the troop. Because these are used as just, you know, as like the troop names are just used to separate the different troops to give context. Okay, then troop pages. Now for each page of the troop, it needs to then find the list of events, which is this. So the structure here is the same. So the page is a list. each list item, it needs to go through the commands and check if code is 401, if it's 101. Yeah. I'm going to need to process the text in some way. So add to CSV, that should be the same. Process event and process event choice is going to be the part that's a little different. Because the code here is different. Actually, maybe I can just add a prefix here. Yeah, maybe here I have prefix, and the prefix for maps is just going to be MP. That way I can use the same here. I don't need to repeat this. So process event, MP. And then, well, I barely know what I'm doing. This is, I mean, by now I know a little bit more what I'm doing with this, but this is stuff I'm unfamiliar with. So, like, this might look like crazy work, you know, if you have no idea what I'm doing, but someone who knows this language would think like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Someone who knows this language, it would be very clear to them that I'm kind of making it up as I go and going trial and error here. You know, I'm just not. You know, I got some general programming knowledge, but this is a lot of trial and error right now. Yep. Well, I wouldn't exactly call this brute force, but something like that. But yeah, so MP here is gonna be for this. MP here, MP here. And here it's gonna use the prefix instead of just the hard-coded first two letters. That way I can use process event still. I just need to change for troop or maybe encounter. Yeah, encounter maybe, or yeah, troop. So process event. This is going to be TRP. And process event choice, TRP. So that should work. Okay. This sets the speaker. All of this should be the same. Okay, okay. Add a note about map name for this. Yeah. I'm probably gonna go eat soon enough, but for now it's all good. Okay, I'll need to make a new file to extract as well. So I need to make a new file to export. Let's grab the stuff here to make a file. So instead of export.csv, it's gonna be... Actually, I can still just use export troops. Sure. Export troops under data. Export file, yeah. And I need to keep rows because this is what's going to be. Yeah, I need to make sure I have rows and speakers. These are going to be shared in the final version of this. But for now, I'm just doing them separately to just simplify the problem a little bit. So now this is going to be rows. I need to add 2 rows. Oh, right. This would only belong to... Yeah, process event and process event choice here would actually like belong to this function, I think. I don't actually know if this is how JavaScript functions work, if I need to actually define them. If they're like, yeah, I think they probably only exist in this context, so I'll need to redefine them here. Of course, I won't need to do this once I merge these together, just for the purpose of yeah, these are just going to be redundant later. For now, they're just the same thing. Same for the same for add to CSV as well. And process text. Yeah, I need to move all of these in for now, because this is for now a separate set of things. Okay. So added to CSV, code, text, yes. Now this is going to do all this. Now, a lot of this is just the same logic as before, so maybe I'll be able to reuse this in some other way too. It's just like the top part of the logic here that's different. So it might be worth it to actually program this a bit differently, but for now, let's just treat this as a separate thing. I'll just refactor it afterwards if I can do it. Okay, for now, a lot of this is very similar. It's just the troop here that's different, basically. That's it. Here, instead of map number, that would be troop number, which would be troop ID. Oh, that's there. So map number here isn't actually a thing. Right, okay, that's one way that this might be different. There's fewer identifiers here. Yeah, there's fewer identifiers here. There's really just the troop ID. There isn't really a map number. So that's one way that process event here might be different. So I might just have like a magic number here, basically. Which is, you know, not a good thing to have, but... I might just do it anyway. Process event. Process event choice. Yeah, I might just do -1 on this bit here. And troop ID. Yeah, I'll just make this so that map NB now is only added if needed. There we go. Oh, another little stretch coming. All right, let's see here. That should work. That should work. And okay, I'm gonna do a little stretch, and then we're gonna do a playtest to see if this works or if this breaks. I'm going to assume this is gonna break. I probably messed something up here. Like I said, not super familiar with all this, but we'll see. All right, let's do a quick little stretching break first. Okay, let's see what's going on. Let's see what's up. Let's see if it crashes. It might do. It might do. It do. Map name. Okay, that sounds like a variable I forgot to replace. Process map events. What? Process troops. Oh, just a moment. Okay, let's see here. The map name, that should be... Okay, I don't think it broke anything. That's good. Or maybe it did. Nope. Didn't actually change anything. It looks like. Or maybe I just missed a thing. Or it probably just crashed before. It could change anything, really. So it's just troop name here. Okay. Okay, that was okay. Let's try again. Let's try again. Oh, before actually, let's just reset troops just in case something did change I didn't notice. Reset changes to troops.
Oh no, it's time to stretch.
And let's load her up again. See what happens this time. Oh. Oh. Okay. No crash this time. So that's good. Let's see if the troops are still there. The text isn't removed. Oh, look at that. Look at that. What's this? The fleshy tunnels tremble. EV733T0. Who knows what's up? It's not quite working, but it's giving it a try, you know? It's giving it the old shot. Yeah, it's just appending it at the end. It's not quite right, but you know, it could be worse. Something is happening. Something is happening. And it's not crashing. So you know what? I'll take it. Let's see if it extracts it. Let's see if it's actually extracting it. I'm curious. This should be under... Oh, no, it doesn't save anything. Maybe I forgot to put in the thing to make it save. That's probably it. All right, let's reset this. Reset file. There we go. Reload it. Yes. Reload it. Yes. So now everything should be back to normal. Yep. Okay, let's look to see why is it not actually recording the file at the end. Must be missing the last line for this. Extract maps. Oh, here, yeah. No, not that. Here, yeah, it should be this. CSV content rows, this, and then this. Yeah, that's the part I need to do. I need to make sure that's at the end here. And I must have forgotten. Yep, I just forgot to do this. CSV content. And CSV content, yeah. Export file. And this is the rows, map row join, okay. Yeah, okay. Now let's look into, yeah, why is this not actually overriding? Yeah, it doesn't seem to be overriding stuff. It seems to just be appending it for some reason. Which is weird because this is the same logic as before. Let's look at the data here a little bit more. So parameters, okay, parameters, maybe it's a different parameter here in this context. Like if beckon one. Yeah, maybe this is arranged more a little differently than the maps. Let's look at map 02 here. Let's look at the typical. Let's look at a typical dialogue here. No, it's still the same thing. It's the first parameter. It is the first parameter for dialogue. Yeah, this is the same thing. Huh. So what could be the problem then? Yeah, it's arranged the same way. And result is here. The result here is process. Maybe the result is the problem. Maybe this is not returning the same thing. Yeah, parameters 0, -1, troop ID. Yeah, you know what? Let's have a breakpoint to see what the result is. Yeah, let's run this again. Let's run this again. Okay, yeah, this is still normal. This is still normal. Okay, let's run this again, and this time with a breakpoint at the right spot. And the breakpoint is going to check what exactly is happening just before adding to the CSV file here. Oh, updated files is not defined. Okay, we got a crash. Let updated files equals 0. Okay, I'm incrementing this, but I'm not actually... Ah, yes, okay, I need to set this up here. Here, updated file starts at 0. Okay. Is this all messed up now? Okay, it's still doing this. Still doing this shit, but I couldn't do Alright, let's revert this again. Reset file, troops, yes. Now it's reverted back, yeah. Let's see if did it generate a file. It did. It did generate export troops this time. Okay. Okay. It's exporting shit. Oh, but here, yeah, look at that. Okay, yeah. So this is it is grabbing the stuff correctly here. It is grabbing the content here correctly. But here it's somehow appending the content to the code. It must be something I messed up. Okay, okay. Well, you know, this is already a good step. Just need to figure out what I messed up with the yeah, it's something I did in the process event stuff. Oh, it's the wrong order of stuff, isn't it? Prefix goes before text. That's the problem. These are swapped. These are swapped. Prefix was the first, not text. Yep, that's the problem. That's the problem. Prefix is first, not text. That'll do it. That should fix it, I think. Let's see. Did I reset this? Yes. And did I erase the export troops? Let's do it now. Okay. And now let's run this again, and hopefully that should work. There we go. There we go, folks. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Yeah, and it's all numbered here. It keeps going. It keeps going. Nice. Nice, nice. And let's look at what the file looks like. It's a lot smaller now. And yeah, on the verge of an emotional breakdown. We got the names here. Sybil Wall, Mirror Encounter. Yep. The names are there. Let's see if it adds any like that are empty or something. I'm not seeing anything that looks like they are several in a row. Look at that. Yeah, this is just working. This is just working. And is it also adding no, it's not adding the names at the end, but that's going to be added, you know, at the very end. Okay, cool. Yeah, this works. This works. All right. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go eat, and tonight I'm gonna be moving on to the common events. Yeah, I'm gonna be moving on to the common events after this. Yep. All right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, this is some good progress. This is starting to work. Yep. This is starting to work. I'll need to do this with like all the other stuff too, but a lot of it's going to be simpler. Yeah, nice. Whew. I'm very happy this is happening. This is working so smoothly. Yeah, I mean, this is going to require some extensive testing, but it's basically working. Yeah, nice. All right, let's just reset the truths before I forget. And all right. But yeah, that's gonna be it for now. I'll do the stream at the normal time later tonight. But yeah, thank you all for watching, folks, and take care for now.